just one. My name is Ellen Kalish. I'm a wildlife rehabilitator, and I am director and founder of Ravensbeard Wildlife Center. So Ravensbeard got started because of this article I read in the Conservation magazine, and I realized that there was something I needed to do for me, for wildlife, something to do with all the knowledge I'd accumulated all my life. And so wildlife rehab became that new outlet. It absolutely stemmed from my childhood. My dad bringing home monkeys and toucans, just learning about all those pets that we had really ingrained a huge web of knowledge for me. So it started slow, like in most businesses, in your dining room, your living room, your garage. I would accept one to two birds at a time and then follow it through to their release. And that went on for 20 years, not really having a facility. So that was the hardest part, was getting through that. Turkey Point ramped up to the point where we did have a 27-foot fly cage. We did have 9 or 10 outbuildings where a bird could exercise. And so most of those enclosures were not portable. And so the thought of moving to a new facility was just horrible. When I first moved into the first rental house, I did have an outbuilding that we renovated and made it into a clinic. So that was the first time ever I had a taste of I could close the door and close the stink in the other room and actually put on television and hear it. Then the second place I moved to, I spent 5 years back with my bathtub, my kitchen sink, and the hose were the most important pieces to that setup on 212. And so I did have 2 living rooms, and the second living room became my clinic. One of the most memorable, one of the most panicked, and one of the most rewarding stories that came through Ravensbeard's doors.
This guy's pretty popular, the tiny stowaway owl who's captured the hearts of New York City. This time yesterday, we introduced you to Rockefeller the owl. Rockefeller, as he was naturally named, was hungry and dehydrated after spending 3 days being shipped 170 miles in the tree. How is Rocky doing now?
He's doing great. He's eating up a storm. He took a bath on his own.
Here's the owl today, looking happy and healthy.
This first story that we have about the tree is quite a hoot.
He's making headlines and already prompting several parody Twitter accounts. This wide-eyed owl, found hiding in the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, is now well on his way to recovery.
Finding out that there was a little owl in the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree blew my mind, number one. And number two, the fact that it came in undamaged, basically hungry and thirsty. It doesn't get much better than that. Once we took her to the vets, talked to I don't know how many owl specialists, and then fielding the phone calls from every news company, every newspaper, every network, non-network. Everybody wanted to know the story.
Thank you for coming in today, and say hi to Rocky for us. And congratulations on your book. Thank you, Ellen. And The Christmas Owl is out now, so go grab a copy of this beautiful story or just head to today.com.
My name is Owl Roker.
Once the release happened, it was 10,000 pounds off my shoulders, because now the world was no longer looking at me to see that I was going to do the right thing. And, watching this little owl look into my eyes for all of, a few minutes before she disappeared into the woods was more than thank you. I could lose it just talking about it, but every aspect of that rescue was special, and I knew it, and we needed that story at that time, and I think that's what made it so exciting to not just to me, but to the world. And I'm so grateful because we were able to channel all the attention that little bird brought us into donations to help us find our forever home. When we finally moved here to our permanent forever home, everything just fell into place. All the cages fit, and thanks to a really generous donor, we were able to build our 100-foot flight cage. I had plenty of room for this area and that area. Downstairs turned out to be a godsend in that the whole first floor of the basement is a clinic. Once we got our footings here, there's just so much open space and places to spread out. So we're planning to expand and build larger enclosures to take in the influx of birds we continue to receive. It's heaven. Not going anywhere ever. Thank you, everyone who's been here tonight. Thank you for your presence, for buying tickets, for buying auction items, for helping us financially. This is our big push, our big fundraiser, moneymaker for the year, and it means so much that you're all here supporting us in what we do, and we couldn't be, more thankful. So everything we do makes a ripple, makes a difference, and our ripple is sending out healthy animals. So thank you for that.